With the emergence of advanced AI models like GPT and DeepSeek, the business world is swiftly embracing AI technology. Alibaba is no exception. The company is actively integrating artificial intelligence into its core business, e-commerce. Joining us today to discuss these developments is Zhang Kuo, president of Alibaba.com. And we should note that Alibaba is the parent company of the South China Morning Post. Welcome.
Thank you.
We are very interested to find out how you're leveraging AI for your e-commerce business. Can you elaborate on how you're using AI?
Sure. So before I talk about the AI, I would like to talk. So there are kind of three big shifts we see which drive the business of global trade. That is, the first one is like from PC to mobile. It's more like kind of continuing the demographic dividend of the internet. So more and more people participating in the global trade, and we see more users and more merchants coming in. I think that's the first wave. And the second is we are centered on building the kind of trust mechanisms which enable the B2B escrow payment and also the global payment network and global logistics network, which enable the big amount of transactions on top of Alibaba.com. And now we see the third shift, which is more transformative, is kind of based on AI, the large language model. So during this, it's more like improve a lot on the productivity and the efficiency side, both on the buyers and the suppliers. So for example, the buyers previously, when they using Alibaba.com or using any kind of search engine, they are more focusing on using a few keywords and filter on the product list or suppliers list and communicate with the suppliers. So now with the help of the AI, they can use kind of more conversational words to describe the more open questions, like I want to figure out what are the trending women's security products, or kind of more open ideas. If I want to build up a coffee shop in New York, or I want to build up a ski resort on desert with a $50 million budget. So this can be the questions they ask to the engine, and then the engine can give them kind of not only the product list, but also the business plan and the guidelines, help them to do it step by step.
Wow, so the questions will be more like a natural language, the way you and I converse.
Exactly.
So if I want to build so I ask a question, Mr. Zhang, I like to build a ski resort in somewhere. What do I need to buy in order to start this business? The machine will calculate for me, spill out the answers for me.
Exactly. Just like if you ask on the desert, then it will tell you you need the kind of the snow making machines, and you need to the kind of cooling system, and you need to leverage the kind of solar panel to generate more energy for this kind of resort and all the equipment that you needed, and give you kind of a report on how you allocated your budget and what are the kind of suggested suppliers to you, and even can give you more detailed suggestions if you keep asking.
Wow. Is this for B2B kind of a business scenario, or is this down to consumers?
I think it's both. So currently we are linked not only on Alibaba.com's kind of supply base, but also on AliExpress, 1688, kind of the entire Alibaba groups of merchants and the product list. So we think in the beginning we are building the majority for the kind of a B2B scenarios, but for the B2C, for the end consumers, we believe that it can help them as well.
I see. So the usage scenario seems to apply right now to buyers, right? People
Yes.
who are looking to buy services. What about sellers? How does AI help sellers?
Okay. So for sellers part, we are now building, we call it 4 agents. This is kind of 4 digital employees for the sellers. So they are covering their marketing and the product management, and also the kind of customer engagement and the security and the risk control part. So when a seller open up a store on Alibaba.com, so immediately they will get this 4 agents to help them. So currently we have more than 100,000 active sellers are using this agent, and we see the result, the conversion rate for the kind of product that uploaded by the agent, managed by the marketing, managed by the kind of agent, and also the conversion rate for the communication tools that we co-pilot or autopilot help the agent, both boost to 30% to 40% of growth comparing with the conversion rate. So we think currently this agent can, provide a better performance over 60 or 70% of the new sellers. So if you hire somebody starting from scratch, and you're using this for agent, majority of the cases, the agent going to perform better than kind of a new employee in your team. So we believe that by the end of this year, so the agent performance can, can be better than 90% of the current operationers on Alibaba.com.
Oh, that's quite tremendous. Again, is this limited to B2B or does it apply to B2C?
The agent part now is more applied to the Alibaba.com, but I think this idea is similar. I know that in different other kind of department like Taobao or Tmall, they're trying similar approach as well. But I want to say that for the B2B part, since there are language barriers and there are time difference, and also the process is more complicated for the buyers and the suppliers to fulfill a procurement. So we think this scenario is the large language model or the AIs can perform better in this global trading scenario.
I see. Now, as a platform, of course, you facilitate trade, right? One of your missions is to make it easier to do business. Yeah. Who pays for services like this? When you're matching a buyer and a seller together using this kind of AI service, who pays for it? Does the buyer pay for it or does the seller pay for it?
So if you ask about the business model, majority is kind of seller pay for the services, and the services including in three parts. So the first part is about the marketings, just like all the kind of internet companies. The second part is about the transactions. So when we facilitate on the payment part and the logistic part, there's fees in the kind of fulfillment service as well. The third part is about the AI plus SaaS services. So all these three kind of is composition of our business model.
Right. But for buyers, whether they are B2B buyers or just average consumer buyers who come to your platform and they use your AI agent to help them find the service or the product that they need, for them, it's transparent, it's free.
You can say so.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Excellent. Now, you're also a global business, which means that you operate in China as well as outside China. Now, there are different AI models, there are different large language models in operation. Can you give us a sense of what your current experience is? How does the Chinese model sit together with other global models? Do you use everything or do you just use the Chinese model?
So first, we are building applications. So we are more focusing on how to build a kind of killer applications. And underneath this application, we're using multiple models. So including the Qianwen provided by Ali Cloud. So when we're kind of producing all this report regarding to Chinese, so Qianwen has a kind of better performance on that. And we're also using DeepSeek when we're doing some reasoning models. We are leveraging their reasoning capabilities, but we need to do a lot of post-training as well. And also we use Llama a lot, since Llama is kind of open.
Meta?
Yeah, Meta, from Meta. For the translations and for many kind of the calculations that we need to, Meta actually give a lot of good performance on that part. So we basically leverage everything that we have to help the merchants and buyers on this platform.
Right. Since trade, globalization and trade are the bedrock of your business, I wanted to ask you, how do you foresee the impact of US-China trade tariffs on your business?
Yeah, so this is kind of an evergreen question. So every time I think from the last year we've been asking, and our feedback or answer to that is consistent. So first and foremost is the fundamental rule for global business is supply and demand. So if you ask for a buyer side, so their number one focus is whether they can find the best provider with better performance, the kind of better price ROI for their product. So if there's kind of, let's say, the trade turbulence, what they are going to do is that they're going to adjust their margin smartly, and in the end, it probably kind of pass the price to the end users. This is what's going to happen. And we see on our platform is that both the buyer side and the supplier side are more and more people participating in the global trade. So that trend does not change. So for example, after calendar year in 2025, we see the new buyers, the payment buyers online is 80% growth. But in China, the suppliers growth is about 20% growth overall China. I mean the new sellers. And in globally, like the countries in Germany, in Spain, in Europe, and Korea, Southeast Asia, many of the countries, the new suppliers come to Alibaba.com is more than 40% of growth. So more and more SMBs is using our platform to do kind of a digital trade globally to reach for more customers. So we believe that this trend will continue.
Right. Okay, that's all we have for this discussion. For more on Alibaba, please turn to scmp.com.